For my video essay, I will be doing the assignment based off of Interstellar, and how the main cast, or the characters in the main cast, emotions change as the movie goes on. At first, the movie depicts the family having a flat tire and them trying to patch it. For my final project, I will be talking about Interstellar, but more importantly, I will be talking about how the characters' feelings in the movie change as the movie goes on. At first, the movie depicts the family getting a flat tire and then them trying to patch the tire as they get to school. And when they finally get to the school, the father is pulled into the principal's office where he is told that his daughter Murphy has been acting up and that she had actually hit another student. He was told that she hit another student because they had told her that the moon landing was fake, because in this reality, the scientists decided that it is more important for the humans to focus more on their own planet than on the stars above them. But instead of the father getting directly angry at his daughter, he decides to defend her, which ends up having him get her not expelled but suspended. But this just shows how close in relation the family is, showing that the father will do whatever it takes to defend his child, and that the daughter will defend the father's ideals, like that the moon landing was real. But later on in the movie, they find NASA, and when they find NASA, the father is told that the world as he knows it is dying, and that he needs to help them find a way to save them. But he doesn't tell his daughter Murphy, who helped him find NASA. He lies to her and tells her that he's just going on a mission. I don't think they fully discuss what he tells her, but she does not accept the fact of him leaving, which makes him have very mixed feelings and thoughts on this mission. It actually distracts him so much on this mission that he cannot focus on it entirely. His only thoughts on his mission, when he's on it, are getting back to his family and not wasting as little time as possible. This shows when he talks to the crew and when he's trying to make decisions, and the crew tells him that he's only making decisions based on time because he doesn't have the mission at heart. He has his family. Because everybody else on the mission is detached from families. So this really shows when they finally get to the first planet, Murphy's planet, or Miller's planet, sorry. When they get to Miller's planet, they discover that for every hour that they spend on that planet, it is 7 years back on Earth, which makes our main character very hesitant on stepping on the planet. But he finds a way that he discovers that if he goes around to the opposite side of the planet, it will mitigate the effects of the time effect, because it will be the furthest away from the black hole. So they do this mission, and they figure out that when they land, the ship and the air are uninhabitable. The ship that was on there that was sending a beacon that the planet was habitable was destroyed by giant tidal waves. And when they finally realize this, one of his teammates tries to retrieve the beacon that shows all of the information about the planet, but she gets trapped. So the robot helper that was sent with them, part of the crew, goes to try to retrieve her, but he doesn't do it in time, and their ship is winged by one of these massive tsunamis, and they are unable to fly for a good amount of time, which makes our main character understandably very angry at the fact that his teammate would do something that would cost him so much time with his family and even get one of their teammates killed in the process. So by the time they get back to their ship, 23 years had passed for Earth. Well, only hours had passed for them. When he gets back to Earth, he goes to where he can get video messages from his family, and he listens to them. And from the ones that they show, they're only from the first one is from his father-in-law of his wife, and the majority of the videos are from his son depicting on how his son grew up and started a family of his own. Although Murphy was never able to accept the fact that her father had abandoned her, so she never left him one message. And then the son sent him another message saying that their father-in-law had passed, somebody he had a close relation with. And this loss made him feel very lost on what he should do. He didn't know what he was supposed to do in this time. And then finally, his daughter sent him a video message. The only reason she sent him a video message was because when he left, he told her that when he returns, they might even be the same age. So she was pleading for him, saying this would be a great time for you to come home, because it was her birthday at that time, and she had turned the age he was when he left. And then, once they got off Miller's planet, they had two choices to make. They had to either go to one of the other planets, return their mission, or go to the second planet. They decided that they would go to one of the other planets that was sending a signal saying it was habitable. And when they get to this planet, they discover that it was ice and barren. But when they discover the pod that shows that it was habitable, they unfreeze one of the crewmates that were on there, and he tells them that this is just a surface and that there is a whole world underneath this ice. But little to their knowledge, he was lying to them the whole time, and the only reason he was setting up a habitable sign was so that he could have somebody come and save him, because he knew this was a one-way trip, and he didn't want to accept that. So he decided to set his beacon to show habitable, to lure people there, so that he could stage a mutiny and steal their ship to make his way back to Earth. But when the crew discovered this, he tried to kill our main character by cracking his helmet and leaving him to suffocate, and then lying to the other crew while trying to steal their ship. But luckily, our main character was able to survive this attack and get with the rest of his crew, but the villain, or protagonist or antagonist, was able to get to the main ship first and try to lock on to the airlock, so that way he could take the majority of their ship and leave to make his way home, because they only had enough fuel to make one more trip, and that was back to the home planet Earth. And once the villain had tried to lock onto the airlock, he accidentally exploded it and killed himself and destroyed part of the ship. So, with knowing this knowledge, knowing that they didn't have enough fuel to make it back to Earth now, they decided to do one last-ditch effort, which was sending a robot into the black hole's horizon and seeing and looking over to see and get the data they needed to finish an equation that would help Earth get back into an orbit to where it would be habitable again. So, after this last-ditch effort, him and his remaining crewmate flew towards the black hole and detached one of the parts of the ship with the robot that could collect the data. But little to the crewmate's knowledge, our main character wanted to give her the best chances of survival, which included sacrificing himself and sending himself into the black hole. So once he did this, these creatures or beings, the ones that opened the wormhole, they put him into a dimensional space where he can look and see into the future and past and interact with it as such. And in this way, he set the information about the black hole, and he put it into a stopwatch that he knew his daughter would be able to find and solve. This was really tough for him, because once he realized that he was not going to see his family again, he decided to sacrifice himself just to be useful to another person. The betrayal that he felt when the guy, the betrayal, get this part. That's way long enough. And once he was able to relay this information to his daughter, the beings had deconstructed the space inside the black hole that he was in. And when he woke up, he was outside of Saturn, where there was now a space station that his daughter had built that was able to catch him and save his life. When he woke up inside of the hospital on this space station, he saw that his daughter did it, and she used the information that was inside of the watch that she had given him to create a livable space for humans. And when he realized his daughter was alive, he had such relief on his face. And being able to see her one last time gave him the closure he needed. And it was a perfect way to end this film. So